Hello and welcome to another mod showcase. We keep having more and more amazing mods coming out and I want to talk about a new one, or more accurately an update on an older favourite, Tamrielic Landscapes. I'm specifically using the 1K variant, but there is also a 2K file available. And this mod couldn't have come out at a better time for me. It was released whilst I was trying to piece together a load order using plenty of different files, specifically ones I hadn't used much in the past. And this particular file covers an awful lot too. The mod author states anything under landscapes has been reworked with the exceptions of trees and grasses, but I'll talk about those at the end of the video. I'm going to start with the standard ground cover. Walking through places like the Rift and Tundra give you the best view of what's on offer here, with short flat grass textures coupled with amazing floral sets. It's as realistic as anything that I've seen in this category. And I'm coming to this from organic Skyrim landscapes too, so that's a really big shout. It's worth noting here that for an extra 40 megabytes you can grab a greener plugin for people using green grasses or anything to that effect. As I stated earlier, I would talk about my flora at the end of the video, but you could use my old setup with both unique grasses. I think that would really suit the aesthetic. However, I have to state that Mari's realistic grass fields look amazing and blend in perfectly. For only 3.2 megabytes, it's what I highly recommend using here. In this file, we also have entirely reworked dirt cliffs which blend in really nicely with the ground covers. Darker than the vanilla colouring but with far superior root systems to it. I'm a huge fan of how these look and definitely stand up to my previous favourite in David's dirt cliff variation, and better in terms of how they're built to look like part of the overall aesthetic. David's are fantastic, but they're not built with a specific landscape in mind. Half of the time when building and improving the environment you have to consider factors like that, and the mod author here has clearly recognised this. Furthering this idea is my absolute favourite part of this mod, the roads. These more than just blend with colour to the ground cover and dirt cliffs, they incorporate features like fallen leaves scattered across the floor which match those from the trees around you. When walking through places like Falkreath, the Rift, and especially near Iverstead, it is really brilliant to see. I found the roads to be extremely impressive at all times of the day, even in snowy areas, which is extremely hard to accomplish. I've always been a fan of blended road mods and I love bigger compilation mods to include something like them. And this, in my opinion, is the best road mod I've seen so far. I am extremely impressed. And finally we have the mountains. This is the only dip I saw in the mod from the other files I've used. I found the mountains to be slightly cubey, especially in the higher snowy areas. But it's hard to come from organic using its majestic mountains to anything else, but I was hoping to improve on the LOD from that file. And I have to say the LOD is far superior to organic landscapes, but up close it's a non-contest for most mountain types. But by no means am I saying they're bad, not even close, I'm just saying I'm very picky about what I like. In the future I'm going to find a way to slip another mountain file over the top of this so I can have my cake and eat it too. And things like this are possible because of one simple thing. Its file size being only 170 megabytes, which is so tiny for all that it does. Usually you'd be looking at over 300 megabytes for anything close to this, and honestly, they don't really look as good overall. I said earlier that I'd talk about my flora a little here. Right now I'm using the full flora overhaul mod. I've actually linked the exact version I'm using because I know there's a lot of them. The reason I chose this mod is because it fits in perfectly with the colouring of the environment and draws in extra levels of realism. Now I know SFO can cause some lag in heavier orders, but what I'm using isn't too heavy and pretty well optimised even if I do say so myself. I found that even in the heavy areas I'm having smooth stable frames. To top SFO off I'm using Mari's realistic grass field as I find it completes the look perfectly. There are actually two versions of this though. If you've grabbed the greener add-on to the landscape pack I suggest using the all green version, however if like me you didn't I would suggest using the standard version for more variance between the holds. I've also recently released my weather and lighting setup. As you can see, this blends beautifully with the surroundings. I'm really happy with how the order is looking right now, and that's a big part of it, so I will link that in the top corner right now. And on that, I'm going to end the video. I'm testing out a bunch of new mods, so expect to see those videos in the near future. You can always send me a message with video suggestions, but you'll have an easier time if you come and join the conversation over on the Discord channel, so check the description for a link to that and all the mods mentioned in today's video. If this helps, I'm still chasing as many likes, comments and subscriptions as I can physically handle. But either way, thank you for watching and I hope to see you in the next one.